Right now, it's the final weekend before the midterm election. How local groups, politicians, and political parties are making one final push to win your vote. Plus, the Badgers are out for redemption after falling out of the top 25 last week. We're looking ahead to kickoff at Camp Randall today. And got candy? You have a chance to get rid of some of your excess Halloween candy for a good cause and a possible prize.
This is News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning, Saturday. It is 5 a.m. on this November 3rd. Welcome to the weekend. I'm Josh Spreiter with meteorologist Chris Reese, and not too shabby of a morning to start us off here.
No, it's not. Each day we've gotten a little bit warmer. That's what I've noticed, and so that's good news. Temperatures this morning, yeah, for now. We won't talk about the extended forecast yet, but temperatures this morning are at 37 degrees, which is 6 degrees warmer than we were about this time yesterday. I know, of course, we tend to like to see that. Temperatures are in the 30s for all of us across south central Wisconsin. I think there are a few spots in the 40s, though. There they are. Boscobel and Mineral Point, both in the lower 40s. But we're going to see a lot more cloud cover today, and that cloud cover will only be increasing as the day goes on. That's ahead of shower chances that'll be working their way into the forecast. So 32 to 44 this morning. I guess we shall say 37 to 44. The temperature jumped 5 degrees since I made this graphic. So we're taking off. 48 by the time we get you into the afternoon. Shower chances, though, will be on the increase today. And then we actually have an alert day for Tuesday when most folks are headed out to the polls. We're expecting a lot of heavy rain on that day. So, of course, we'll be talking about that. Here's traffic right now. Rimrock, empty. I don't think there's a single. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
We've got one car. It's a trucker, though. So far, traffic is moving smoothly across all of the area this morning, and let's hope we can keep it that way. I know it's one of the last outdoor farmers markets, so.
Yeah. 2 more left.
I know. Hopefully, we can keep things smooth as folks head out for that.
All right, Chris, thank you.
My pleasure.
With 3 days until the midterms, the final Marquette Law School poll released before the election shows the race between Governor Scott Walker and State Superintendent Tony Evers is tied. The poll conducted last week shows Walker and Evers tied at 47%. Poll director Charles Franklin says the exact same number of voters chose both Walker and Evers.
I'd be surprised if we see a really big change. I've been surprised before, but this last week may be a game of inches. Maybe millimeters to who gets the advantage. Very important issue.
Governor Walker led the race by 1 point in Marquette's polling earlier last month. That poll also shows Senator Tammy Baldwin maintaining a double-digit lead in the race for U.S. Senate. Baldwin is leading Republican Leah Vukmir 54 to 43%. She had a 10-point lead in the last poll. And in the race for Attorney General, incumbent Brad Schimmel leads challenger Josh Kaul by 2 points. Some 7% of voters polled, though, still don't know who they'll vote for in that race. Vice President Mike Pence hopes his visit to the Badger State today tips the scale in favor of Republicans candidates this Tuesday. He's the latest big name to visit Wisconsin following visits by President Trump, former President Obama, and Vice President Biden. Vice President Mike Pence will rally for his friend Governor Walker at a trucking company in Hudson today. He's been crisscrossing the country over the past week, campaigning for Republicans in tight races. Speaking of the governor, Walker is activating the Wisconsin National Guard for Election Day, saying he wants the Guard's cybersecurity team ready to help election officials if needed. Election security has been a nationwide concern since Russian efforts in 2016 to target state networks. A Guard spokeswoman said the order will allow cybersecurity teams to deploy quickly if election clerks need help. Early voting totals ahead of next Tuesday's election have topped the 2014 midterm turnout at both the state and county levels. The Dane County Clerk's Office says more than 71,000 in-person and mail-in absentee ballots have been returned county-wide. That's 28,000 more than in 2014. If you haven't already voted on Tuesday, voters in Wisconsin Dells will have the chance to approve a new school in the district where students are facing overcrowding. School officials say the current high school is over its targeted capacity, and other schools in the district are running out of room as well. Voters have the chance to weigh in on whether to contribute $33 million taxpayer dollars to build a new high school off Highway 12 in the Dells on 80 acres of donated land. According to the district, about 45% of the $60 million project is already paid for through Wisconsin Dells and Lake Delton funds, along with donations. After voters rejected two similar referendums at different locations, the district's administrator hopes this third time is a charm.
We have science labs that haven't been touched for the last 20 years, and it's time to refresh the button on our educational facilities.
If approved by voters on Tuesday, the old high school will become a middle school for grades 6 to 8. The district administrator says the average cost to a taxpayer with a property value of $100,000 would be $86 a year. Also on the ballot, Dane County voters will be asked for their opinion on the so-called dark store loophole. That's the process that allows some big box retailers to be taxed at a lower rate because they're assessed as if the store was vacant or dark. Opponents say small business owners and residents end up paying more to make up for lost revenue. Those in support of the current rules say the bigger stores are being unfairly targeted with higher rates. The referendum asks whether the state legislature should prevent companies from using the loophole to, quote, shift the tax burden to homeowners. Dane County is one of several municipalities in Wisconsin gauging the public's opinion on the topic. For more information on what you need to know before you head to the polls, just go to channel3000.com. You'll find a News 3 voter guide on our homepage. Make News 3 your election night destination for the fastest numbers and best analysis. At 7 p.m. on WISC, CBS News national coverage begins with Who Will Control Congress? We'll break in with live local updates all night on WISC. Starting at 8 p.m., you can watch continuous live local uninterrupted coverage on our digital platforms, Channel 3000, Facebook, and YouTube. Then at 9 p.m., our local coverage will be available on Fox 47. And again at 10 o'clock, join us on WISC for election night coverage you can count on to be fast and accurate. Developing overnight, Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum returned from campaigning for Florida governor to his home city after a deadly shooting left 2 people dead and 5 injured Friday. Gillum says he and Governor Rick Scott visited victims in the hospital. They were shot at a hot yoga studio in a busy shopping center. Police say a gunman opened fire before likely killing himself. They add that the people inside the yoga studio fought back against the gunman once he entered the building. Melissa Hutchinson was one of those people.
Yeah, I was able to be very calm in the situation. I'm CPR certified and first aid trained, so I just was there to help where I could. And I think when I was able to finally leave, it was a lot of emotions that just kind of came over me with it.
Police have identified the shooter as a 40-year-old man from Deltona, Florida. Officers are now searching his car, phone, and social media profiles to determine a motive. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office is confident they have a homicide suspect in custody, but deputies are still not releasing the names of the suspect or the victim, along with a lot of details in this case.
There's a lot of investigation that still needs to go into this, a lot of intelligence we need to gather, and releasing some of that information too soon could compromise that investigation, so I'm going to withhold where on the property that body was located.
Deputies were called to a home in the town of Lebanon Wednesday night to investigate the death on Red Wing Road. The suspect is currently in custody on charges unrelated to this case. The sheriff's office won't say how long the body was on the property, how the victim is related to the home, if at all, or what the suspect is being held for. Sheriff Schmidt did say the victim is a male, but didn't give an age. Police have detained a teenager in McFarland after he brought an airsoft gun to school Friday. In a letter sent home to parents, superintendent said police were called to Indian Mounds Middle School after staff was informed that a 13-year-old student was in possession of a weapon. Officers arrested the boy and found an unloaded airsoft BB gun in his locker. He could face charges. The Badgers are back in town today. They're looking for some redemption after last week's loss to Northwestern. They'll kick off against Rutgers in just a few hours. Our Kevin Lewis has 3 things to watch for during the game.
The first thing to watch is a partial repeat of last week's first thing with a twist. Alex Hornibrook's availability. The Wisconsin quarterback passed concussion protocol and is cleared to play this afternoon against Rutgers. That doesn't mean he'll start or definitely play against the Scarlet Knights, but Hornibrook's a green light after missing last week's game at Northwestern. Jack Cohn filled in, did okay, but the Badgers offense looked disjointed and the team dropped to 5-3. Well, Wisconsin loves when that calendar turns from October to November. The Badgers have won 15 of their last 16 games in November. A win today means bowl eligibility for the 17th straight season, the longest streak in the Big Ten. Wisconsin's also 8-1 following a loss under Paul Chryst. The third thing, frankly, a thing I don't expect. Any wild cards, the Badgers can afford 0 mistakes if they have any hopes of a shot at the Big Ten West title. Wisconsin a 30.5-point favorite, and Rutgers 1-7 with losses to Illinois and Kansas. But few thought the Badgers would be in must-win mode with a month to go in the regular season. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff on Big Ten Network, and time permitting, we'll have highlights and post-game reaction on News 3 tonight at 6 o'clock. Enjoy the game.
It's going to be interesting to follow, I think, if you look at the Green Bay.
He's in tomorrow against the Patriots. After dropping one against the best team in the NFC last week, they'll have to try against the 6-2 Patriots.
Won big games like this. We've won big games on national TV like this, and it gives you a ton of confidence, and that's what we need right now in this stretch. We need to have one of those signature wins midseason.
The Packers are currently 3rd in the NFC North. They'll kick off on Sunday Night Football starting at 7:20. If your kids picked up more candy than you know what to do with this Halloween, or you just bought too much, you're not alone. To help parents with some of those sweets and take them off their hands, Unity Point Health is holding several Halloween candy drop-off events. You can stop by their West Washington clinic during normal business hours from Monday through Wednesday next week. In exchange, kids will get a bag of other goodies and be entered to win a family outing to the Madison Children's Museum. The candy collected will be shipped in care packages to soldiers serving overseas. It is just about 5:12 now on this Saturday morning, and it is kind of a chilly start out there, but not too bad. Today's definitely going to be the pick day of the weekend, perfect for one of the final farmers markets of the season. Here's a live look outside. You can see Lake Mendota right there. Chris is tracking some more rain in his first alert forecast. And there are several shows and movies for you to enjoy this weekend. Will also has your 3 things to watch on News 3 this morning, Saturday. Stay with us.
Temperatures this morning a little bit on the warmer side compared to yesterday, but still rather chilly. We're at 37 degrees right now in Madison, and a lot of us here in the state of Wisconsin do have those temperatures that are in the 30s. I think a few of us are lucky enough to see temperatures in the 40s, but we have a lot of cloud cover moving in, and that's only going to be increasing as we go through the day as our next storm system works its way on into the area. Here it is right now, bringing lots of rain to Dakotas and parts of Nebraska, but as we go through the next 3 hours, you'll notice that rain will gradually work its way into Iowa. That entire system kind of doing a little dive through the upper Midwest and then working its way towards the Great Lakes region. That means our rain chances will be increasing as well as we go through today. So here we are, timing it out hour by hour for you guys. 48 degrees for your highs this afternoon. Notice the clouds really beginning to increase by about 8:30. I can't rule out the possibility of some showers working their way into the area. We'll have a little round that comes between then and midnight, and then it's the heavy rain. So here we are at 7:30 tomorrow morning through Sunday, and we're just going to have rounds and rounds of rain that could be heavy at times, along with a lot of gusty wind. And by the time we get you beyond sunset tomorrow night, that is when we'll see the rains kind of begin to decrease. But watch these winds and how they pick up. These are sustained winds, by the way, going through tonight and through Sunday. Here we are tomorrow morning. These are sustained winds near 20 miles per hour as that rain is coming on through. Gusts will likely be higher than that, and they'll finally begin to relax towards the nighttime hours, but it will still be very breezy. So that's system number one. That's going to be followed up by another system as we go into your election day that has cold air coming in behind that one that could end things as a mix. So as we go towards your voting forecast, do plan for a lot of rain and a lot of wind that day as well. Don't let it deter you from getting out to the polls, but it will be a very wet day. In fact, we could see an inch of rain tomorrow, followed by another inch of rain into Tuesday, and of course all of that followed up by the colder air. Watch this dive out of Canada as we get you towards next weekend. And the core of that cold on this particular model does kind of set up over the upper Midwest. We're going to watch that closely because oftentimes regions of low pressure can develop along that. And here's one of our models into next weekend showing the possibility of a mix into some snow. Whether or not that happens, we've got time to watch that, but the cold air for sure is on the way by next weekend, along with heavy rain tomorrow and Tuesday.
Getting into that time of the year, I guess.
Yes, we are. It's going to be a very active week for us here in the News 3 First Alert Weather Center, but we're ready.
All right, Chris, thank you.
My pleasure.
Time right now is 5:18 this Saturday morning. The band KISS is saying goodbye, kicking off their farewell tour early next year. The rock band announced the first wave of concert dates with stops at New York's Madison Square Garden and the Forum in Los Angeles. They'll kick off the tour in January in Canada. KISS will also perform at the Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee come March 1st. Tickets just went on sale yesterday. Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga's soundtrack for their remake of A Star Is Born is breaking Billboard records. It's the first soundtrack to snag the top spot on the Billboard 200 chart for the third straight week in more than a decade. It's also Lady Gaga's longest-held #1 album. Movies just out on video, streaming online, and digitally mastered re-releases top Will Loper's list this weekend. Here are his 3 things to watch.
Do you know how to drive a stick? I'm so sorry. It's an emergency. Oh my God. Do you know how to change a gear? What's a gear? Okay. Get out. It wasn't so bad.
New on home video this week is The Spy Who Dumped Me.
We just want to talk about your boyfriend.
But he dumped me.
Drew was CIA.
I'm sorry, what?
Some bad people are after me. Now they're after you.
Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon star as best friends who get sucked into an international assassination plot and must survive.
If we don't deliver this package to Vienna, a lot of people are going to die.
Do you want to die having never been to Europe? Or do you want to go to Europe and die having been to Europe?
Why are those my only 2 options?
The Spy Who Dumped Me is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
God, I killed someone! I killed someone! Stop yelling!
You were employed at the Homecoming Transitional Support Center?
How do you feel? Happy.
What were your duties there?
I don't know.
You don't know.
New this week on Amazon Prime Video is the series Homecoming.
Homecoming is a safe space to process your military experience and think about what comes next.
Julia Roberts stars in the psychological thriller as a caseworker helping soldiers return to civilian life.
Warned them about her. Warned them about what? Who's hiding?
All episodes of Homecoming are available to stream on Amazon Prime Video now.
You're worried?
Aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Who are you?
No one of consequence.
I must know.
Get used to disappointment.
Okay.
Finally, a new digital restoration of The Princess Bride has arrived this week on Criterion.
Fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles.
Doesn't sound too bad. I'll try and stay awake.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Very nicely.
The classic fantasy adventure follows Wesley, Princess Buttercup, and that guy who says inconceivable as they try to find their happily ever after.
You can die too, for all I care.
Oh!
As you wish. Oh, my sweet Wesley. What have I done? Ow! Oh!
The Princess Bride Criterion is available to buy on home video now.
He didn't fall? Inconceivable. You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch. And this is Will Loper for News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama is bringing out an all-star lineup of celebrities for her book tour. Moderators include Oprah Winfrey, Reese Witherspoon, and Sarah Jessica Parker. Michelle Obama will release her memoir, Becoming, on November 13th. Her tour starts in Chicago with stops in 11 other cities, including LA, Washington, D.C., and New York City. 5:22 is your time right now. If your weekend plans include disposing of your pumpkins or cleaning up your yard, we've got a reminder from the city about pickup. Plus, no more, no wake. There's some good news for people hoping to take advantage of Madison's lakes ahead of the winter freeze. Thanks for watching News 3 This Morning, Saturday. Welcome back at 526. We've got some good news for boaters this weekend, although it comes rather late in the season. Slow no wake orders have been lifted from some area lakes. This comes as water levels continue to recede from summer's historic rains. You can now freely enjoy Lake Mendota and Wabisa, and the no wake order for Lakes Monona and Kaganza are still in effect. Officials do want to remind boaters that there is always a no wake order 200 feet from the shore. If you're trying to get rid of your old pumpkins or clean up your yard this weekend, we've got a reminder from the city on pickup. Crews are still going around in some neighborhoods collecting your leaves and yard waste, and they'll be doing that throughout the fall. That includes weeds, yard trimmings, and any leftover Halloween gourds. You're asked to separate that stuff from any brush, as branches and other big tree clippings won't be picked up. Some areas have already wrapped up fall pickup. You can find a full schedule for your street on the City of Madison's website. Still to come this morning, making music, sharing art, and spreading joy. This month's Morning Notes features an artist for the whole family to enjoy. The news is back on News 3 This Morning, Saturday. Office by day, stage by night. A Madison woman is living her dream and drawing crowds while doing it. This month's Morning Notes segment is just ahead.
This is News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good Saturday morning and welcome back to News 3 This Morning, Saturday, 5:30 on this November 3rd. I'm Josh Breiter. Meteorologist Chris Reese is tracking some more rain chances in his forecast in just a moment, but first, here's what's happening right now. Police are searching through the car, phone, and social media profiles of a man who they say shot and killed 2 people and injured 5 inside a Florida yoga studio. It happened late Friday inside a busy shopping center in Tallahassee. Police say a gunman opened fire before likely killing himself. Florida's Governor Rick Scott and Tallahassee's Mayor Andrew Gillum are both running for office this Tuesday. They stopped campaigning to visit the victims and their families in the hospital. Vice President Mike Pence is returning to Wisconsin today to show his support for Governor Scott Walker ahead of next week's midterms. Pence and Walker will be in the northwestern part of the state holding a rally in Hudson. It's the vice president's second trip to the Badger State in the past month. He also campaigned for Walker in Green Bay and Eau Claire in early October. Wisconsin quarterback Alex Hornibrook will be back on the field when the Badgers kick off later this morning. Hornibrook missed last week's game at Northwestern with a concussion. The team's offense struggled in Hornibrook's absence last week and turned over the ball multiple times, leading to a 31-17 loss. Kickoff against Rutgers is set for 11 o'clock at Camp Randall. You can watch the game on the Big Ten Network. If your kids picked up more candy than you know what to do with this Halloween, you're not alone. To help parents take some of those sweets off their hands, Unity Point Health is holding several Halloween candy drop-off events this week. You can stop by their West Washington clinic during normal business hours Monday through Wednesday next week. In exchange, kids will get a bag of other goodies and will be entered to win a family outing to Madison's Children's Museum. The candy collected will be shipped in care packages to soldiers serving overseas. 5:32 right now. We'll say good morning to meteorologist Chris Reese, who's tracking some more rain kind of later this weekend, it sounds like, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. If you're going out to the Badgers game today, have no fear. Things should be dry. It's going to be chilly, though. 37 degrees is the temperature right now. Same for Janesville, 36 in Monroe. Boscobel is at 40, so they are the warm spot, and all of us will warm up gradually through the day. But we're tracking more and more cloud cover. It's working its way into the state of Wisconsin. You get back towards Minnesota and Iowa, you'll notice that cloud cover is much thicker, and that's the next system. It's going to be working its way into town. So temperatures this morning will warm towards about 44 degrees by lunch, staying mostly cloudy, and then highs again right around 48 degrees. But those rain chances come in later on tonight and into Sunday, along with a lot of wind as well. Coming up a little bit later, we're also going to be checking out your voting forecast that has the potential for a lot of rain and wind. It's just going to be a wild week coming up. So far, though, traffic is moving smoothly. Very few cars are out, and that's a good sign that things are going to be rather quiet as we head out on this Saturday morning. Josh?
All right, Chris, thank you. Time right now is 5:33 this morning. By day, Angela Puerta works as an urban planner for the city of Madison. But out of the office, she's working on music, playing with multiple bands as well as her own solo act. We chatted with Angela at her recent stop at the Overture and listened to her art come to life at Cafe Coda. Enjoy her sound in this month's Morning Notes.
To label music is just myself. It's a little bit of this Latin person here with some rock influences and pop, merengue, salsa. It's a fusion of things. So I started with rock. Basically with Alanis Morissette, Cranberries. I'm originally from Colombia, and I did a bachelor's degree in architecture while I was in Colombia. And I applied for a master's degree in urban and regional planning here at the UW Madison, and that's how I ended up in Madison.
The idea of Cafe Coda is to present traditional contemporary live jazz music and provide a facility where groups from around the world can perform here in Madison.
my mom is a singer, so I started listening to rancheras, which is a Mexican rhythm, but she used to sing rancheras and other Colombian traditional styles. My mom said, like, you know, this is a very hard career for you, and if you want to pursue it, do it, but as a hobby, because it's hard to make a living with it. I decided to bet for this passion, and I'm investing all my money and my time, my free time on music, so I'm doing both. So they are very proud, they're very, very happy, and I think that that's what they wanted me to do, to pursue my dreams with a stable lifestyle. And I think I have it. I have it, and I'm living a dream.
Special thanks to photojournalist Christopher Hawbaker for putting that together for us. You can hear more of Angela's music on iTunes, and there is a live jazz music at Cafe Coda's new Willie Street location every Wednesday through Saturday. Time right now is 5:37. If you're looking for something other than live music to enjoy this weekend, we've got you covered this morning. From a pair of classic one-act operas to a musical cornucopia benefiting our neighbors in need. Chris is joining me for your Weekend 608, coming right up on News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
37 degrees, the temperature on this Saturday morning. A lot of cloud cover out there, though. We're going to be seeing more of that as we go throughout the day. So as you head out the door, maybe you're headed to the farmer's market today. Grab a jacket. It will be a little bit chilly, but temperatures should top out into the upper 40s. Same goes for the Badger game, but we should be dry. Also, a fun little reminder, we all get an extra hour of sleep tonight. Yes, we will throw a party and celebration.
Us.
Yes, tomorrow morning, just party it up with all the energy we will hopefully have from the extra
and hopefully
hour.
we make it here on time.
I know, right? We'll see.
The other thing.
I know.
All right. Well, it is the weekend in the 608.
Hey, here's a look at what's going on in and around the Madison area.
You can double your enjoyment at the opera this weekend. The Madison Opera presents 2 classic one-act operas, also called a double bill. Buy a ticket to one and you'll get to see both. The shows were composed in the 1890s and haven't been performed in Madison in more than 30 years. If you missed last night's 8 o'clock show, you can catch it again tomorrow at 2:30 over at the Overture Center.
A timely political production just in time for the midterm election. Madison Theater Guild opens The Best Man play, a play about 2 candidates, one ethical, one not so much. Both men are vying for the presidential nomination in 1960. It's a political thriller with themes of ambition and scandal. Playing at the Bartell Theater tonight, as well as the next 3 weekends with Friday and Saturday shows.
That time of the year, the 5th annual Flannel Fest brings together several regional American music makers tonight. This year, the headliner is Chicago's Miles Nielsen and the Rusted Hearts. Local favorites in the lineup include Mascot Theory, the Beth Kill Band, and Driveway Thrift Dwellers. So break out your best flannel for the fest, which doubles as a fundraiser for the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, a statewide nonprofit that keeps the heat and power on for needy residents. The show starts at 5 o'clock and runs until midnight at the High Noon Saloon.
Well, with that extra sleep, I might be throwing on a flannel tonight. All right, a special art exhibit is on display prior to Veterans Day on November 12th. The veteran print project, The Transience of Narrative, opens today in the Overture's Playhouse Gallery. For 10 years, the Veteran Print Project has brought veterans and artists together and produced works that help civilians understand the experience of past wars and ongoing conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. A special reception will be held next Monday, November 12th, and the project will be on display for the rest of the year.
As always, you can pick up a copy of this month's Madison magazine for all of the best in the Madison area. Time right now is 5:44 and kind of a chilly start to this Saturday morning, but not too bad out there. Today is also going to be the pick day of the weekend.
That's right. You're looking over the Capitol this morning. Well, actually, you're looking over the terrace, but I'm tracking some rain that could impact some of your weekend plans. That's next on News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
But first, happy birthday to all of the kiddos, including Toby, turning 3 years old today. We thank you for watching News 3 This Morning, Saturday.
Good Saturday morning. It's another chilly start out there with temperatures that are in the 30s, but upper 30s at that, and some 40s are showing up. So there's always a positive to the story. 37 in Madison right now, 40 degrees for our friends in Boscobel. And the farther you work your way to the west, the more and more cloud cover that we are waking up to. In fact, right around La Crosse, there are some light showers that have moved through the area. They've dissipated though, but there will be more shower chances coming through. Everyone gets their fair share. What we're watching is this system across the Midwest right now. This is bringing a lot of rain to parts of eastern Nebraska, working its way into Iowa. We're going to see that do more of that as we go through the rest of today. The system essentially taking a little dip across the upper Midwest, but as it swings on through, that's going to mean increasing rain chances through us in the Madison area. 11 o'clock today, temperature should be right around 44 degrees. That cloud cover getting thicker and thicker through the afternoon, 48 by 2:30. Here comes the rain chances. You'll notice those early at about 8:30. Oh, Chris, it doesn't look all that bad. That rain gets through here quick. Okay, watch this. So once we get towards tomorrow morning, the really heavy rain comes into the picture. Here we are, 45 degrees with high winds likely being the case as well. That rain will be with us all through tomorrow morning and into the afternoon as well. It's going to take a while before we truly get that all out of here. Rain showers will taper off though as we get you into the afternoon and evening. But folks, it's going to be pretty windy as this swings on through as well. Check out sustained winds as we get you towards tomorrow morning at 9:30. We're looking at 19 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds. Gusts could be upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour. That's not the only wind maker and rain maker coming in. We'll have another one that comes in on Tuesday, bringing heavy rain with that before that slides on out of here. So as you head out to the polls, Tuesday's weather will be a lot like tomorrow's weather, if not a little bit more intense. A lot of rain will be expected, possibly ending as a mix. But folks, we could see another inch of rain through tomorrow and then another inch of rain from the system coming in on Tuesday. So it's going to be a very wet pattern, followed up with a dive of Arctic air moving into the picture as we get you towards next weekend. We have to watch that closely because a wave of low pressure could develop as that Arctic cold front comes on through. That'll bring chances for a wintry mix on over to some snow. And whether or not that plays out, of course, we have several days to iron out the details there. But I'm feeling pretty confident on the push of cold air that's going to come in at the end of the next forecast period here. I didn't get to look at the pet walk, but here's Barney. That's fitting. I'll be laying by a fireplace too.
Belly up.
After I just heard my forecast. So yeah, it could be a pretty interesting 10 days.
All right, Chris, thank you. We have been asking you to share your morning with us, and Brittany sent us this photo out of Menominee. This is Tainter Lake. Check that out. That is beautiful. Some incredible shots this time of the year.
Yeah.
Very glassy. Thank you so much for sharing, Brittany. What does your morning look like? Be sure to take a picture, and you can send it to us at Channel 3000, the Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and that's how we're able to share our favorites right here on the program. Just about 5:51 right now. There's a full hour of News 3 this morning, ahead at 8 o'clock, and then in our news at 6 and 10 tonight, how people here in Madison are honoring the people killed at a Pittsburgh synagogue 1 week later. But first, it takes a village. The Wisconsin School District taking learning to a new level, teaching students life lessons they'll never forget. News 3 This Morning Saturday will return in a moment. Back at 5:54, that was the cutest picture ever. You're probably familiar with the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. The Wisconsin School District is actually using that mentality to ensure their students are ready for the workforce.
And that's right. They're partnering with a local restaurant to create a village cafe for their students. Gerald Ballard has the story.
It's a really good experience.
It's Monday, you're hungry and in the mood for some pizza during your lunch break.
Come on out and join us for a Monday lunch.
So you decide to wander over to Maryland's Fire Station and Catering in Medford, where the pizza is all you can eat.
We've been averaging about 30 to 40 people each Monday, and that doesn't include the orders ahead.
But on Mondays, this local restaurant is not your typical Monday lunch. The place is transformed into an interactive classroom for students with special needs.
Great opportunity for the kids. I mean, I could not replicate this in a classroom.
Maryland's partnered with the Medford School District Special Education Department to provide students with hands-on learning opportunities to prepare them for the workforce.
We proposed this concept to Maryland of creating some real-life work opportunities for our source students. And so at the beginning of this school year, we now have an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet lunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. here at Maryland's in Medford.
While most students might dread going back to school on Monday, these scholars can't wait for Monday to roll around. Students tell me it's their favorite day of the week.
Yeah, it's better than sitting in a classroom.
It's called the Village Cafe.
Well, there's a whole bunch of different stations. I was already the cashier, so now I'm in the dining room.
For the past 6 to 7 weeks, students have arrived faithfully, ready to get to work.
I think the students are gaining self-confidence. They're gaining vocational skills, whether it's checking in people as the cashier, whether it's waiting on them, whether it's food prep.
The first day was very, the kids were unsure of what to do, and now they're helping each other out.
All the proceeds raised during the 2-hour period are donated back to the school to help build a playground for students with special needs throughout the Medford area.
And this is why I'm doing this, is because all our proceeds go to our playground.
The playground the students helping fundraise for will cost $250,000. So far, the city has raised $100,000. The Village Cafe has helped contribute more than $500 and will run until the end of the school year.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I think there's a lot too in just getting workforce skills. I think they trump the classroom some days. It's just one of those things. All right. Forecast-wise.
It's going to take a village for you guys to be tracking all of this weather.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. First of all, let's fall back tonight. Cannot wait for that extra hour of sleep. I'm already excited for bed tonight, especially because it's going to be raining, and that heavy rain is going to continue through Sunday morning. An alert day on Election Day Tuesday for heavy rain and wind as well. And then we watch Thursday and Friday for a system coming in with cold air. There are signs it could be our first accumulating snow. We'll see.
Oh my, all right, stay with us. We'll have more news through this morning ahead at 8 o'clock.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.